to understand what calling for your mother means. Somewhere deep in my heart, I understood Tyree. Because the only thing that kept the kids from laughing at my banana sandwiches in school, because she couldn't afford enough to put meat there, but Mama would make it all right for me. And he knew if he could just get Mother, that they would quit beating him and quit stomping on him. All he wanted to do was get home. Now, home, Reverend Jamal Bryant, home is not just a place. Home is not just a physical location. Home is where you are at peace. Home is where you don't have to keep your dukes up. Home is where you're not vulnerable. Home is where everything is all right. He said, all I want to do is get home. I come to Memphis to say the reason I keep going is all I'm trying to do is get home. I want to get where they can't treat me with a double standard. I'm trying to get home. I want to get where they can't call me names no more. I want to get home. I want to get where they can't shoot and ask questions later. I'm trying to get home. Every black in America stands up every day trying to get home. Last night, we went to Mason Temple, Church of God in Christ. And the Wells family and Tyree's sisters and brothers stood there where Martin Luther King gave his last speech. They didn't know that night it was his speech for the last time. I was told by those that worked with King that raised me, and I recounted it with Mrs. King. I worked very closely with Martin III. We're going back to Washington August 26th. During his father's March 60th anniversary, we're going to deal with Tyree and the rest of these issues. And they were told me that that day, April 3rd, 1968, it was raining and storming. Dr. King said he didn't even feel like going to the rally. He had come to Memphis a week before to lead a march for the sanitation workers. That's right. And some provocateurs got at the end of the march. You know, there's still some around now that's blacker than anybody else, that's more active than anybody else, that's more street than anybody else. They started a riot at the end of the march. And the press said, oh, Dr. King's day is over. Nonviolence is dead. So he came back to prove that he could march. If it wasn't for so-called militants, Dr. King would have never faced what he faced. That's why all of these people talking bad that you and I don't know, don't have no background on, be careful of who jumps in movements, because they set serious folk up. Dr. King came back, and that day was raining, and he said to Dr. Ralph Abernathy, Ralph, you go speak. I don't feel like going tonight. And they went on to the church, and when they got there, the church was full in a storm. Dr. Abernathy went into the payphone, and he called back to the Lorraine Motel, a black-owned motel. Rue told him to put his call through to room 306. Dr. King picked up the phone. He said, Martin, you need to come. There are thousands here. They didn't come to see me. Dr. King got in the car by himself and rode over to Mason Temple, and he started speaking that night, and something came over him. He said that I don't fear any man. He said, God has allowed me to go to the mountaintop, and I've seen the promised land. And that's the last speech he gave right here in Memphis when he went to the mountaintop. I believe when he looked over, he could see a Barack Obama become president. I believe when he went to the mountaintop, he could look over and see a Kamala Harris sitting as vice president. I believe when he looked over from the mountaintop, he saw black police chiefs. He didn't expect you to disgrace him. He expected you to bring us on to the promised land. That's why I'm still marching. Yes, I got books out. Yes, I got a TV show, but I'm a mountain climber. I'm not going to stop till I get to the top of the mountain. You can call me names on right-wing television. I'm a mountain climber. I expect stumbles to come my way. I'm a mountain climber. You can disgrace me. You can discredit me, but I'm going to keep on climbing. I'm going to climb until Tyrese Nichols gets justice. I'm going to climb until Eric Gardner gets justice. I'm going to climb until we change the laws. We're mountain climbers. We're not day traders. We're mountain climbers. And if God before us is more than the whole world against us, he walks with me. He talks with me. He tells me that I'm his own. He's been food when I was hungry, water when I was thirsty. He's my rock. He's my rock. He's my rock. My sword and shield. My wheel in the middle of the wheel. Yes. Yes.